Well, it's an exciting time of the year. As always, every year, it just has a little different feel to it. We're thrilled to be here in Toledo. We're hoping that we get a nice crowd from South Bend and, of course, all the Notre Dame fans over this way. So it's a great opportunity for us to begin the tournament close to home.
Okay, if we want to take questions for either of the student athletes, go right ahead. Go ahead. Go right ahead.
Kayla, can you just talk about, are there any dangers for a one facing a 16?
I think there's always dangers. I think Robert Morris is in the tournament for a reason. They've had a great season. They have some great players. We have to be ready to play our game like we have all season.
If there's one area coming into the tournament where you feel you guys really need to focus on and improve, what's that area?
I think it's always defensively, just containing the ball, making sure we're in help, rotating, things like that, and always rebounding. I think those are the two things Coach emphasizes more than anything is defensive rebounding, and it's been something that we've gone up and down with all day, and we just have to make sure we're consistent with that.
You know, as a senior who's been through this, can you say anything to the freshmen? Do you just figure they know by now they've been around this, or, I mean, how do you approach it?
I think it's good for them to let them kind of feel it out on their own at first. I think they're going to have a little bit of jitters, but I think they've been in big games with great environments, and I think they're ready.
Kayla, what's been the biggest transition in Jules' game this year, and what's it like sharing the backcourt with her?
I think Jules stepped up in almost every aspect of her game. I think she's scoring more. She's always been a great defender. She's one of the most athletic players I've ever played with. I think her ball handling has gotten a lot better. I think she's more confident with the ball, coming off ball screens and things like that. But I think her IQ has just developed a lot more, and she knows our offense a little bit better, and she just has a lot more confidence in that.
Excuse me for not knowing, is she the primary ball handler?
Lindsay Allen would probably be the primary ball handler.
Kayla, is this a situation where you feel confident just because you prepared not only through the tournament, but pretty much all your life in this year?
Yeah, as a senior, I think we have a lot of experience with 3 Final Fours. But I think with our coaching staff gives us a lot of confidence. I think we're ready and prepared for every game, no matter who we're playing. So I think that the preparation there and in practice, and then with other 2 seniors on my side, I'm pretty confident.
As a senior, you talked about the freshmen and some nerves. It's probably natural to have some nerves. But do you guys come in maybe a little looser this year, or maybe just the attitude to have some more fun?
No, I think it's still the NCAA tournament. It's lose or go home. So you always have to keep that edge, and I think this team has kept that chip on their shoulder all year. I don't think we're trying to let down our guard on anybody.
Just how much these girls mean to you? You guys have gone through so much the last 4 years and added some new pieces and lost some older pieces. But this team, this program means so much.
Yeah, this year is a lot different than it has been the last 3 years. I think just because everybody's been able to contribute. I think if you look at our bench, Michaela Mabry, Madison Cable, people like that who have stepped up, I think that's what makes it so special. And especially with these seniors, we've been through so much. 3 Final Fours, it would be good to go out on top.
Do you reflect at all, or do you take time to think now that you're going into your final tournament?
Yeah, I think after the ACC tournament, that was the time to reflect and just look back on what we've been able to do. But the NCAA tournament is a whole different season, and it's 0-0 in the win and loss column. So that's what we're focusing on now.
Kayla, was it easy for you to develop take over some ball handling responsibilities, become a passer, and it doesn't seem like it affected your scoring?
I think it's just something that I knew I had to take on as a senior. It was just another role that I had to fulfill. It's something that I enjoy doing. I enjoy getting my teammates involved. I enjoy seeing their confidence build from getting assists, things like that. And I'm willing to do anything for this team, whether it's playing the 1 to the 5. It doesn't matter. So it was just something that I was able to step into.
Is it easy for a scorer to say, oh, okay, I get the ball?
When you want to win, yeah. I think it's just a part of the game. It's a team game. There's 5 players on the court for a reason, and it's not all about me. It's about this whole team.
Sort of follow up on what you were asked earlier for both of you as seniors. Is there any extra pressure just being the last go around, the last chance to win the title?
You want to go first?
No, I think it just makes it that much more fun to know that this is kind of our last shot. I wouldn't say pressure, but I would say excitement to know that we have the opportunity to do something special, and that's the approach we've taken all 4 years we've been here.
I don't know if you paid attention. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. Go.
I don't know if you pay attention, but President Obama had you guys in the final game in his bracket. Do you guys pay attention to that? Do you laugh about it or pay attention to that at all?
No, not necessarily. I think that we just focus on the 13 players that we have with us, our coaching staff, and just try to keep it internal. We have our first game coming up tomorrow against Robert Morris, and that's who we're focusing on.
Now, let's talk about playing against Artemis Purdue.
Pardon?
Talk about playing against Artemis Purdue.
I mean, I've played against many different European kind of style playing, and really excited to see such a player. She's leading the nation in double-doubles, I believe, right? And so I think just to play against a player that can score, can rebound, and do a lot is going to be exciting to test our defense and see how prepared we are.
Kayla, you mentioned that this team's been able to keep a chip on its shoulder all year. How have you been able to do that when you haven't lost a game, obviously? How have you kept that edge through the regular season?
I think it's just focusing in and honing in on each individual game. I think we're not looking too far ahead and things like that. I think our coaching staff does a good job of just making sure that we're, like Ace said, internally focused on the 13 players, the coaching staff, things like that. We know what our goals are, but we know we can't get to that without each individual game.
Entering this tournament, does not having a loss on your record add any extra pressure at all, or is it standard?
No, not really. Like I said, I think we're just trying to take it one game at a time.
Natalie, can you talk about the challenge of defending a player who's a strong presence in the post, but they can also score from the perimeter?
I think it's going to be exciting for us to see a couple different players guard her, and to really see how we have worked on focusing on special players like we're about to play against. There's been a star in every team that we've played so far this season, so we're going to focus on making sure that we can guard both on the perimeter and the post, and it's all team defense. Not one person's going to be guarding her. It's going to be a team effort between all five on the court.
How do you feel you guys have fared against the players who are kind of a threat inside and a threat outside?
I don't know if we've played someone quite like her so far this season that is so talented both on the perimeter and inside, but I think we've had a little difficulty guarding in the post this year, so I'm kind of excited to see. Just a little bit. So I'm kind of excited to see how we fare against her tomorrow.
Any more questions for the student athletes? All right. Thank you, ladies. You can return to the locker room now.
See you, Coach. Yeah, I'll probably be there.
Okay, we'll take questions for Coach McGraw now, please.
What do you get the most out of, they mentioned depth, what do you get the most out of your bench? What's the key area that you really feel that helps with the
Yeah, I think the best thing about our bench is that we get so much versatility. If we need rebounding, shot blocking, we have Taya Reimer. Scoring on the block, Taya Reimer. Three-point shooting, we've got Michaela Mabry, Madison Cable. Madison's also a pretty good defender. Markeisha Wright gives us that physical presence. You know, we need somebody to set some screens and box out and do some things like that. So I think each one of them brings something a little bit different, and depending on the game, that's how we decide who's going to play the most.
Where is this year's guard play ranked among your guard play?
You know, we've had great guard play at Notre Dame as long as I've been there, and certainly over the past few years with Skylar and Kayla and Jewel, I think we've got the best backcourt in the nation.
Coach, a lot of people want to see you guys play, including the president, obviously. How do you stay focused one game at a time to not look ahead to that?
By not answering those questions. You know, we try to keep the distractions really to a minimum, the noise surrounding this whole thing. We try not to get involved in it. We keep focusing on the one game at a time. And so far, we've been able to do that. I mean, we did it all season long without looking ahead. And so now it's a 6-game season. We've got to do it again.
There's only one coach that voted for Notre Dame and not you. Is that you?
I'm not on the top 20 poll. I don't know who it was, actually. Didn't even know that we got a vote, so that's good news.
This is a hometown Natasha Howard. You played against her. Talk about what she brings to court and where you think her future is.
What a phenomenal player. We couldn't guard her. I think she had 30 on us in the ACC tournament. She was fabulous. She is somebody that can really score around the basket, but she's like a double-double machine. She can rebound. She's a big presence. We had trouble keeping her off the glass. Defensively, she can really block shots. I think she's got tremendous upside at the next level.
Also in the area, Bowling Green right down the street. They kind of feel like maybe their team 65. Do you think maybe they got passed over?
I think it's difficult for the mid-majors. I think they had a great season. We really expected that they would be in the tournament. It's probably there's more pressure on winning the tournament in that league than there is certainly in the ACC or any of the major conferences. You don't have the pressure of having to win and still go to the tournament, so it's a really, really difficult time for them. I thought they were definitely a team that should have been in. I think the selection committee, I'm sure, gave them a good look, and it's hard to say how they ended up.
If you had a vote, would they do that?
I didn't actually see them play this year. I think losing in the semifinal probably is what really hurt them. I think they like to see teams get to the final.
Natalie referenced some issues with interior defense. How big of a concern is that for you in the tournament, and is it quickness in getting in position? What issues?
I think a lot of it's the rebounding. I think the offensive rebounds we've been giving up lately, I think, have been a concern. So we really need to focus in on that, no matter who's in the game, in the post. That's got to be a primary concern for us.
What do you work on in practice today? Is it an intense practice, or is it just kind of
We really want to get up and down, get some shots up. But we'll have probably our normal workout. We'll work on what we're going to do defensively. Offensively, I think we're pretty set. We've been working on some things all week long. So I think mostly it's just getting used to being on that floor.
you've had some special groups, but it just seems like this group, as a team, the chemistry, there's so many things that not to speak for you, but that you love about this team.
It's funny. Every year is a completely different team. There's a completely different chemistry, even though it's only one or two people. And I think probably for the last 4 or 5 years, we've just had such great people in our program that you hate to see them graduate, and you don't know what the next year is going to bring. And then to come into this year after losing Skylar, who was meant so much to the program and set so many records for our program, you come in with a lot of questions. And then you look at the way we're practicing, the way we're playing, and you see what we have in the senior class and the leadership and how they all have gotten better and have really just risen in terms of their maturity and what they're bringing to the program. And, every year it's the same thing. I don't know what we're going to do without these seniors next year, because this team has really been fun to be around. Yeah, they do. They make it easier all the time, practice and games, because they're so smart. They have high IQs. They do exactly what the scouting report tells them, and they're creative, and they have the freedom to do other things. So they're not robots. They don't just go out and run from A to B. They really like to play the game in a special way, and they enjoy playing it together. They enjoy being unselfish and making the pass that leads to the alley-oop or that leads to a basket. So it's really a fun group. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, we miss some classes this time of the year, and so we waited till after class on Thursday. We could be really flexible in our travel because of being on the bus. I think we earned the right to play close to home, and we were really, really happy to be able to get on that bus and make a short trip. And our fans, I know, are excited about it. The parents are excited about it. So I think it's a great place for us to be. Yeah. We've had that pretty much wherever we've gone. We were at Raleigh. We had a great turnout from the Notre Dame club, and at the ACC tournament, we had a nice turnout from the Notre Dame club there too. So we've already been in touch. I mean, I think they call the minute the bids come out. The next day, the phone's ringing with the club from Toledo wanting to know what they can do. Can they help us in any way? And certainly to come out and support us at the game. You know, if she would just pick one or the other, it'd be a lot easier for us. She's just so talented and can score in so many different ways that, you know, you try to put a guard on her, she takes you down to the block. You put a post on her, she takes you outside. It's a tough matchup for our team. I think it's something that we're concerned about, and we've worked on a lot of different options, so we have some backup plans. And like Ace said, it's got to be a team defense. We've got to know where she is all the time. You know, I think Hamby from Wake Forest was similar to that. She didn't shoot as often from the three-point line, but she could face up and be around the basket, and you know, she had a pretty good game against us. So I think we've learned a lot. The ACC has really helped us in looking back and saying this player plays like this one and this team is like this one. So we've certainly had a lot of experience. I really like their point guard. You know, I think Anna is a very skilled, very poised freshman, and you know, you have to have great guard play to be successful. And certainly they were successful this year, and a lot of it I think was due to her and just the way she runs the team and manages the game. I think she's played really well. They're outside shooters. I think they've got some good three-point shooters. You know, they have a little bit of everything. So I think it's not just a one-man team. I think they have some very good players around Artemis. You know, we do a lot of things with the personality that we have a lot of fun with. I think for me, I really like to give the upperclassmen a lot of opportunities to talk about things they like, and in terms of in the game, you know, some input into what we're doing. I think they have a great buy-in. They feel like a lot of it is their idea. And so I think it's been a real collaboration, I think, between the players and the coaches, and when they're mature enough to handle it, you know. So I think when the upperclassmen come in, but it's important for us to get that chemistry right. We spend a lot of time working on that. I think it's more important than talent. I think that you win more with chemistry than anything. Yeah, it's fantastic. You know, I think we have one of the best assist-to-turnover ratios in the country, and I think we're second in assists overall. So we really share the ball well. Yeah, you know, I was just saying today, we've been almost every seed 1 through 12, and you know, so you know what it's like to be on the other side, and for us, that's why it's not that hard to take it one game at a time, because you know when you're that other guy, you want to get the upset, and you can do it. So I think it's really helped us to kind of stay grounded, even though we've been a little more successful lately. There's very recent memory of us being in some of the lower seeded games.